We are at the Stroud Gymnasium. We apologize. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back and we're live. I'm Wally Felt along with Mike Miller and our producer-director, Brett Wiebe, on a chilly January afternoon. Frontier Conference women's basketball. The Bulldogs of Montana Western hosting the Skylights of MSU-Northern. We are in quarter number 2. 4:22 remaining in the quarter, in the first half, and the Bulldogs leading 25-22. And Mike, there's timeout on the court, but we've had a long timeout. We're just going to stay here.
I just want to remind everybody that was not me unplugging things.
No, that was actually, we can blame it on the computer.
Yep.
We actually can. We're not just making that up. The poor Brett had to get rid of some software, download a new version of it. And we're up and running right now.
And we are so fortunate that we have her, because I'm pretty sure that the technically smart that the two of us are, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So, Brett, thank you. Well,
you saw me trying to get online here.
Yep.
With we have a laptop now. We can see the stats right in front of us. And as I look at the stats so far, in the past where we've seen the Bulldogs being drastically out-rebounded, it's even right now.
Right, yep.
15 boards apiece.
And we have Peyton Hagee has 8 points, and she leads all scorers. Savannah Toms for Montana State Northern has 6. And I'm not sure that Savannah played in the first game on January 4th.
She had very few minutes when we were preparing our charts. We prepare our spotting charts based on minutes played, so we can put the players that play the most at the top of the spotting charts.
Savannah has done very well. Got a little brace on her knee.
Mackenzie Long, I wonder what integrated health major is. Is that like
I think she's doing a little bit of everything.
Well, she just made 2 free throws, and those 2 free throws bring the Skylights to within 1 of the Bulldogs, 25-24. We have 4:15 left to play in the first half. Pretty tight game on this cold January afternoon in Dillon.
Montana State Northern's gone to a little bit of a 1-2-2 zone defense.
Oh, nice move. Nice pass, I should say. Nice pass from Peterson to Davis underneath for a Bulldog basket.
And Kiki wasted no time. She got the ball, went right up and scored.
And that was a little bit of block to the floor by Emma Wass, but I think it was unintentional. So that was actually pretty good call, the officials with a no call. Moy all the way across court to Davis, inside to Peterson. Peterson goes up, and nice defensive play by the Lights. And that was his bad horse.
So that resulted in a jump ball.
Yes, yeah.
And it was the Bulldogs' turn. So
Kansas, his bad horse, transfer in from Williston State. And I tell you, she leads the Skylights in both scoring and rebounding, but the Bulldogs toss it away there, and they lose the ball, but the Bulldogs get it right back at the other end with the steal by Nichols. And here comes Bulldog fast break all the way down. Peterson out to Nichols, and Nichols' 3 is in and out, no good, but Peterson had the offensive rebound, started to put the pickup or the putback, and got slapped. I don't think it was intentionally slapping. I think the Skylight was more going for the ball, but got the face instead. And that will send Kenzie Peterson to the free throw line. And she thunks it up there. Seems like free throw shooting is no longer the art it used to be. She gets 1 out of 2. Siggy's a 60% free throw shooter. And the Bulldogs lead by 2, 28-26, 2:46 left to play. First half, Skylight shot up and no good. And Bulldog rebound to Nichols. And she'll set things up on the Bulldogs side of the court. Lund has it. Lund out to Hagee. Hagee come, little 10-footer. Floater is good. And that gives the Bulldogs a 4-point lead, and Hagee moves into double digits. I believe that's 10 points, isn't it now? 30-26 the score. We're approaching the 2-minute mark of the half. And Hagee with the foul as his bad horse goes up for the shot and draws the foul. She'll step to the free throw line to shoot a couple. She's a 79% free throw shooter. And that's a good example why, as she makes the first.
She went to Colstrip High School.
Didn't you once say about the facilities at Colstrip High School? Pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Missed the second one, and the Bulldogs come up with the rebound. Nichols sets Bulldog offense.
Yeah, the athletic director's office overlooks the golf course.
Oh, they have their own golf course?
No, it's community golf course.
Okay.
Oh, nice pass.
Nichols, she just weaved her way through the Skylight defense for the layup, and it's 32-27 Bulldogs. 1:43 left to play first half. And a throwaway from the Skylights. Was tried to get it to Trottier, and instead she threw it to Zach McCarthy, the Bulldog trainer on the bench.
And as we said, his bad horse went to Williston State, and so did Abby Adedo from Montana Western. Oh, look at that.
Oh, beauty underneath by Peterson. Reverse layup is good, and it's a 7-point Bulldog lead, 34-27. We're approaching the 1-minute mark of the half. His bad horse had it tipped out of her hands, but Trottier right there for the loose ball, and the Skylight possession continues, but 4 seconds on the clock. Into Was. Was is double team, puts it off the backboard and in. So Emma Was, who is working on a master's. I always hated those kids that were smart and could do stuff like that. Hagee with the three. And now she's at 13 points. The senior, whose parents are in town today. His bad horse, a nice move up over the Bulldog defenders, and it's 37-31, 10 seconds on the first half clock. Off to Hagee. Hagee's going to put up another three. In and out, no good, but Peterson right there with the offensive board and putback, and we're going to go into halftime with the Bulldogs leading the Skylights 39-31. And Mike, we're going to keep it here. We've been gone for too long. We need to talk a little bit, but halftime is happening now. You know, you've always talked about the Armory Gym. I did a little investigating. So, trivia quiz. Now, I gave you a chance to look at this ahead of time. The Armory Gym, one of the classic college gymnasiums in the state of Montana. When was it first built? Now, you had a chance to look at this.
Ooh. In the early 60s. No?
You missed it by a decade. 1955.
55, and it's unique. It is the laminated arched beams that the Antelope School, which was built soon after World War II, they also had the arched beams, so it doesn't have a square or a rectangular roof. It has that arched roof, which makes it unique.
Well, it says here, it said thank you. No, I'm saying thank you to the stats, not to.
Yep.
But Oswald Berg of Bozeman was the architect, and the building was to be jointly financed and used by the college and National Guard, which is about the same time, the college here in Dillon shared some space with the guard unit here. It was at the gymnasium. Although I'm not sure if they had tanks in their basement.
The way they did over here, yeah.
I think they just had office space here. But then the arches you were talking about, an entry hall and lobby were added to the newly constructed building in 1956. In 1958, 2 more arches were added onto the north side of the gym, making an additional 40 feet of space. Seating capacity was raised to about 2,500, and a wrestling room and offices were gained. The student body donated the sound system in 1957, and a 1961 estimate listed the cost of the building, including entryway, expansion, and wind damage repairs, at $812,774.92. How much would you say that figures out to the dollar in
today?
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches don't like to go there, but when I taught on the High Line in Chester and Chinook, we would have our district tournaments there, and our women had a great district tournament. Went on to the state. Actually, got to go on to the state tournament there in 1979, and then we play Montana Western and Montana State Northern. Of course, we play there as well. But it's a little different now because, as you said, the National Guard is gone. It's all taken over by office space by the university. And it's connected to the pool. And remember when Western had a pool here, and it was just too expensive to try to fix it up after all the years of that it had been ignored. But they did so up in Havre. They redid the pool. It looks great.
Well, and they did some work, I don't know how many years ago. The little piece I didn't really say. It said they've done some repairs and some renovations and stuff. And I know, as a photographer, the Armory Gym was not a fun place to take pictures for a lot of years. It was so dark.
Yeah.
But one of those things that they did when they revived the Armory, did some remodeling, some renovation, is they improved the lighting at the Armory. And it's a little easier to take good action pictures in the Armory than it has been. And then Mike, while we have it, are we still on? Poor Brett.
She's having a tough time.
She
did a great job for us.
Yeah, she is. She worked really hard. I was surprised how many people inside the gym actually watch us while they're here in the gym, because they kept tapping her shoulder and saying, "Hey, did you know there's no picture?
We're not on."
Yeah, and as Brett, I know. I'm trying to fix it.
Well, I do have some stats from the first half. Again, Montana Western leads 39-31 over the Skylights of Montana State Northern. Northern shot.
Just Brett's got our graphic up for team stats too, so just the individual stuff.
Okay, the leading scorer for the Skylights is Savannah Toms, who has 6 points, and then off the bench, Becky Melcher has 5. 4 points then for Mackenzie Long, along with Emma Wass and Cheyenne Crass. And, we talked just a little bit about the Melcher, the young lady, Becky Melcher, from Forsyth, and we're just wondering if she is related to the former United States Senator John Melcher, who was elected to the Senate in 1976 and served a couple of terms. I know he was a veterinarian from Forsyth because, believe it or not, I was voting at that time, just getting a chance to vote. So for the Bulldogs, however, they have had kind of an explosion of offense. Peyton Hagee has 13 points. She's 3 out of 8 from the three-point line, 5 out of 10 from the field. And Kinsey Peterson, who has picked up a couple of offensive rebounds, she has 10 points. She is 4 of 6 from the field. And then the other players, Kiki Davis, Maddie Moy, and Trinity Nichols, they have 4 apiece. Personal fouls, 6 for Montana State Northern, just 4 for Montana Western. No one's in real foul trouble. 10 turnovers. That has hurt Montana State Northern. And the steals, 7 steals by the Bulldogs, including, Isabella Lund, she has 3, and you put the jinx on the Bulldogs. Montana State Northern now leads in the rebounding, 13-12. But again, it's halftime here at the Stroud Gymnasium.
Actually, it's 19-15.
It is 19-15. Yeah. So the kibosh is off. So at halftime, Montana Western leads Montana State Northern 39-31.
Should we take a break? Yeah, okay. Let's take a break. So, on the Bulldog Sports Network, it's halftime, and the Bulldogs leading the Skylights in Frontier Conference women's basketball by a score of 39-31. We'll be back with more halftime chatter after this on the Bulldog Sports Network. We're back at the Stroud Gymnasium, about a minute to go before the resumption of our basketball game. And Mike, we were off for about a quarter and a half due to some, and it's funny because the software they use to do all this, she had to completely download a new version of it. And she said it's so sensitive. I said, like me? And she goes, no. Hey, and we have to pass along condolences along the Bulldog Sports Network. Bulldog Hall of Famer Max Neal passed away this past week. Max graduated from here, played on a couple of teams, went back to Kansas City. He was inducted for meritorious service to Montana Western. He taught for many years, and then he's helped regulate water.
Yep. He was teaching at Beaverhead County High School when I student taught there. And he and my two mentors, they would have a sit. I think there were 4 student teachers. And they would sit with us, and we would talk about what is going on in our classes and how we're doing. And those two, Bun Lodge, of course, was kind of an administrator as well. But Froggy Hull and Max, they were great to us, helped us, taught us. So I wish all our condolences go to the family and the friends.
So we're ready to go. MSU-Northern will have first possession of the second half, and we are underway. Bulldogs Skylights playing catch around the rim. Shot is up and no good. An offensive rebound, and then a pass inside to his bad horse, and she puts it up and in, and the Skylights on the board first in the second half and trail 39-33 to the Bulldogs. We'll see what kind of adjustments both coaches made at halftime. Oh, and there's a defensive adjustment. Nice defense resulting in a steal by the Skylights. Shot up and no good, but that's only because she was fouled. So Forner will head to the free throw line to shoot for the Skylights. And I think Kiki, was it Kiki?
Nope.
No, Maddie Moy with the foul for Montana Western. Free throw is up and no good by Forner, the guard from Camas, Washington, and she came into Northern from Vancouver Island University. Now there's a school I hadn't heard of. Missed both free throws, and it's Bulldog ball. Bulldogs leading by 6, 39-33. From the free throw line, shot is up and no good, and Kiki Davis saves the ball, but it's intercepted by Forner, and they're going down the other direction. 3 is up and too hard off the glass, right into the hands of Davis. And here comes the Bulldogs down, and another steal. This is one of those instances where a basketball game was going on and a track meet broke up, and the easy layup missed by Trottier, and Bulldogs with the possession layup by Isabella Lund, and it's 41-33. So helter-skelter pace.
Yeah, the Bulldogs finished off the first half with quite a little push there, and that bulge has kind of propelled them to start this third quarter. But these two players, Toms and his bad horse, that's an effective duo down there.
Well, his bad horse hits the 3, so she's good inside or out, and it's 41-36 Bulldogs.
She finished the scoring for the Skylights in the first half, and she's now got 5 points here in the second.
Peterson works her way in, turnaround, little floater, goes up and no good. A little hard, bounced off the backboard and rim and into the hands of a Skylight defender. Inside, nice move inside to Savannah Toms. And the Glendive senior turns around and puts it in, and the Skylights have cut what was an 8-point Bulldog lead down to just 3. It's 41-38.
I think Chris Mowat has upped the defense.
Oh, and ball should, if Kiki Davis would have let that one roll. It would have gone out of bounds, but all of a sudden, a nice little run. I think, what's that, a 7-0 run, 6-0 run by the Skylights? 7-0 run, I believe, and they have cut the Bulldog lead down to just one, 41-40. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Back with more on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Schedule at Montana Western. I take one class for 18 days.
And we have 3 hours a day in that class.
4 classes per semester.
Once that class is over, you get to move on to the next.
It makes school a lot easier. You're able to just focus on one subject at a time.
Right now I'm in botany, and we get to do a lot of labs and a couple of field trips.
I find it very useful to just focus on one class per block.
The block schedule is super helpful, especially for student athletes like myself.
We're back at the Stroud Gymnasium, and Mike, as I look over the Bulldog bench, they've already changed the lineup a little bit very quickly into the half. It looks like Ava Belich is coming in along with Nichols and Sammy Love. So whatever Northern was doing, I guess
all three of those.
Coach Cooper wants to make the adjustment. Yeah.
All three of them played pretty well in the first half. Belich, everybody worries about that three-pointer, so she faked one up and drove right in for an easy layup.
So Nichols will set the Bulldog offense.
And we didn't get the shot clock started, I don't think.
I think you're right.
And the guy at the table, he just goes, I don't know. So putting it down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. That should be about right.
So Isabel Lund will put the ball in play, and Sammy Lund has it. She'll bring it back out with the pass. Bulldogs play catch around the perimeter. Peyton Hagee will drive in and lay it up and in. And Hagee gets the basket, and the Bulldog lead back to 3. Hagee with 15 points for Montana Western. Shot up and no good, and controlled by the Skylights on that one, and his bad horse right in the right place and right time, and she just puts it back up and in, and it's a 1-point Bulldog lead. 43-42. Oh, offensive rebound and putback, no good by the Bulldogs. So the Skylights have a chance to take the lead, and Trotter goes all the way down, lays it up. It doesn't fall, but right there with the offensive rebound and putback. And we have another timeout. And the Skylights on in front for the first time. And we're going to keep it right here, and we're going to look at what happened in the Frontier Conference on Thursday night. Montana Western traveled to Carroll and lost to the Saints 63-48. Providence over Rocky. There's a little bit of an upset by a score of 79-71. And Montana Tech over the Skylights here 67-59 around the Frontier today, other than the game here in Dillon. Rocky is at Montana Tech. That should be a good one. And here's another one. Number 22, Carroll at number 23, Providence. As we look at the standards, Carroll has kind of eased its way into the top with a 5-1 conference record. The Saints are 13-6 overall and have won 3 in a row. Rocky has dropped to 4-2 in the conference, 12-7 overall, and they're on a mini one-game winning or losing streak. Montana Tech also 4-2 in the Frontier, 13-5 overall, and they've won 2 in a row. Montana Western at 2-4 in conference, 7-11 overall, and they're riding in a 2-game losing streak. Providence slowly inching their way up. There was a time they were winless in the Frontier. They're now 2-4, 11-6 overall, and they've won 1 in a row. And then Northern 1-5 in conference. Their first conference victory happened all the way back on the first weekend against the Bulldogs. And then overall they are 10-9, and they've lost 5 games in a row. Yikes.
Yeah, the Bulldogs probably glad to be home after those 2 losses on the road.
But luckily, they kind of skirted around all that bad weather that's been in and out of the state.
And as you and I talked about, the start of the ball game here today at 2 o'clock means that the men's game will go at about 4, and that should allow the teams to get on the road, get started for home. I don't know how far they'll make it because they're going to have to go into the teeth of that bad storm in the central part of the state. I am assuming they'll go up to Helena to Great Falls and then take the 2-lane on to Havre. But starting the game a little bit early gives them a head start to get out of town and maybe have a little nicer roads going to Havre. So we want to wish them the best of luck and all safety.
Well, that road, just when you make that turnoff from Helena and you head towards Great Falls, that can be nasty. What's the pass there? Wolf Creek Pass?
Wolf Creek Pass.
That can be nasty. And then the road from Great Falls to Havre is not exactly friendly either.
The officials here are talking with the athletic director. They are questioning something to do with the shot clock. And the athletic director working with the guys at the table.
And speaking of the officials, they are Tom Dwyer, Sheldon Mallory, and Ryan Balso. And they said the roads getting here weren't all that bad.
Yeah, I went to Wise River on Wednesday, and the weather, very much like today, we had a beautiful day. In fact, it was a little cold at Wise River, but I think the little kids were singing that song from Frozen, where they all say, "The cold never bothered me anyway," because they all wanted to go outside for recess.
You talked about the big hole, wisdom in the big hole. I saw in the news that the 2 extreme cold areas of Montana for the next couple days, West Yellowstone and Wisdom.
Wisdom has some of the worst weather. When the wind's blowing, it's ugly. When it's really, really hot, the mosquitoes will drive you into underground.
Well, they said the state bird, if you live in the big hole, should be the mosquito.
Yeah. So again, we are having some kind of a problem with the shot clock. It's the longest timeout we've had for.
Do they have it fixed? I think everything is ready to go. Skylights on top for the first time in a long time. They lead the Bulldogs 44-43. Montana Western has gone on a cold spell, just like it is outside. Skylights, Chris Mowat, whatever he did at halftime worked because nice move to the basket. And nice pass from Hagee to Lund, and Lund lays it up and in, and the Bulldogs back out in front. Isabella Lund will go to the free throw line to make it a traditional three-point play. Isabella, the junior from Tumwater, Washington. And she completes the three-point play, and every time I hear Tumwater, I want to sing that jingle. 46-44 Bulldogs. Frontier Conference women's basketball on a chilly January afternoon from Dillon.
Yeah. Ooh.
Maddie Moy, good defense against his bad horse, and she comes away with the loose ball. Moy will take a drive inside, and...
Ooh, are they going to call Lund?
I think so. I think she did it too, by the look on her face.
And that's only her first one, so.
Which is good because the way she plays defense, she usually, and there was a couple in the last game where we were questioning. Oh, nice move to the basket by his bad horse, the junior from Lame Deer, Montana, and Coldstrip High School. Nichols to Lund, and Lund inside the heavy timber, and she loses the ball to the Skylights. And the Skylights, with the score tied at 46, have a chance to take a lead, and they will. And that's Cheyenne Crass at the other end. She's been kind of quiet. She averages 8 points a game, but she's been a little quiet for this one. Lund back to Hagee. Hagee's three a little hard off the glass and tipped in, but not to a Bulldog, to a Skylight. And the Skylights with a 2-point lead can make it bigger with a basket here. Trottier goes inside to Crass. Crass working against Belich and losing the ball to Belich. Lots of Bulldog hands in there caused some disconnect in the Skylights passing lane. And Peyton Hagee says, I'm going through the big ones. And she cuts her way through the tall Skylight defense and lays it up and in. And this game is tied at 48. Crass puts the shot up. She's fouled. And I think, did Isabel Lund, or they're going to get Belich on that one? Skylights back out in front, 50-48. And Crass, the senior from, how do you say that, Mike? Hoagland? Is that Hoagland, Montana?
Yes. She went to Turner High School. The last time I was at Turner, it was still a dirt road. Get off the highway, still had a few miles of dirt road to get to Turner.
And Crass makes it a 3-point play with the free throw, and it's 51-48. Biggest lead by the Skylights for a while. Belich will put up the three and hits nothing but air, and right into the hands of Terry Haverfield, who was a pretty good three-point shooter herself back in her Montana State days. She's replaced a basketball with a camera. Oh, but somebody gets the three out there.
That's Melcher.
Wow. (54-48). Skylights have opened up a 6-point lead with, well, make that a 3-point lead as Peyton Hagee just hit a three. And it's 54-51. Hagee has 20 points for the Bulldogs. Toms tries to go inside, nowhere to go. Crass puts up the shot, nowhere to go. And a foul, I think that was Trottier over the back of a Bulldog. And Nichols and Hagee will bring the ball down for Montana Western, trailing by 3, 54-51, with a minute 58 left to play in the third quarter.
Montana State Northern is forcing the Bulldogs out a little bit. That defense is pushing them out towards the center of the court, starting their offense way high.
Hagee thinks about a three, goes inside and said to Peterson, turnaround jumper is no good. And the Skylights come up with the rebound with a minute 28 left to play in the quarter. And a shot is up, and a shot is good.
Foreigner.
And it's 56-51. Skylights approaching the 1 minute mark. Both teams average 67 points a game, and Nichols brings the Bulldogs to within 2 with a three. It's 56-54. So both teams, I think they're going to go past their average scoring. Reverse layup is good. That was a pretty one. Moran with that, the freshman. Nichols puts up the three. It doesn't fall. Skylights with the defensive board. And we almost had Trinity Nichols in our lap. I think she would have got the computer, not us. It wouldn't have been fun either way. Turnaround three-point shot is no good. Nichols quickly with the offensive board. She's quickly down court, and she's down to Peterson. Peterson loses it. And here come the Skylights on the other way in a hurry. And shot is up, and shot is good by his Bad Horse. And the Skylights end the third quarter on a run. It's 60 Montana State Northern, 54 Bulldogs. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this on the Bulldog Sports Network. We're back at the Stroud Gymnasium, and Mike, as I look at the stats really quick, Kansas's Bad Horse is leading the Skylights with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That's pretty good. That means that's at least 10 points additional.
She's doing it all.
Peterson has the ball to Lund. Lund takes a drive in, and it falls. Isabella Lund with the layup, and it's 60-56. Northern. Fourth quarter just underway. Traveling is the call on the Skylights. Lund out there, step back three is good. Or I should say Peyton Hagee, sorry. Peyton Hagee with the step back three, and it's 60-59 Skylights. Hagee has 23 points now and comes up with a defensive rebound all the way down to Kiki Davis. Kiki Davis goes up, and his Bad Horse checked it out. And the Skylights come up with the ball after the defensive rebound. Three-point shot by Melcher is up and no good. And here come the Skylights, Bulldogs, and Davis has it. Davis to Lund. Offensive foul.
Illegal screen there.
And Peyton Hagee asks for an explanation, and she gets it, and she goes, okay. She's student teaching right now for another Western person, Rami Williams.
Got the double screen there at the...
Oh, Isabel Lund comes up with the steal. Did she get fouled?
No, just fell out of bounds. Took the ball with her.
I think she knocked the water bottle out of the skylight on the end of the bench, too.
I might move that big metal bench away from the end of the bench.
Trotter works her way in. Now she goes off in the corner to, I think that was Kraus trying the three, and it went off a Bulldog and out of bounds with 17 seconds on the skylight shot clock. Trotter will put it in play, and she has it taken out of her hands, and Peterson comes up with the ball for the Bulldogs. Off to Lund, and Lund quickly down court to Peterson again at the other end to Davis, and Davis wasn't ready for it, but looks like it was touched by a skylight.
Just one too many passes in the post, and they have too many bounce passes in the post.
Peterson's jump shot, against Montana Tech, she did not miss anything, but she's having, even though she is the second leading scorer in the Bulldogs, she's struggling a little bit.
She's played a lot better than she had at the beginning of the school year, at the beginning of the season.
Three-point shot is up and good. Three-point shot is up by Long, and the Skylights back in front by 4, 63-59. 6:58 left to play. Little 10-footer is up and no good, but Kiki Davis with the offensive rebound and putback, and it's 63-61 Skylights. Turnaround jumper is good. That was his bad horse again. And it's back to a 4-point lead for MSU-Northern, 65-61.
His bad horse had a great third quarter.
Sure play just kind of brought the Skylights from behind to ahead, and they haven't lost the lead. Maddie Moy off the nice pass from Peterson, lays it up and in, and it's a 2-point Skylight lead. 65-63 over the Bulldogs. Trotter puts up the three, and it's too hard off the glass. And all the way down, a nice pass from Hagee to Moy, but Moy...
She was too far underneath the basket, wasn't she?
Yep. I mean, she led her pretty good, but she was already past the land of no return, I guess.
And I think they have a foul on Moran there.
So Krass checks out, and Savannah Toms checks back in. Hagee to Peterson. Peterson almost loses it, and somebody reaches around and fouls her. I believe that was Forner.
That's her fourth.
She's quietly gotten 4 fouls. Isabel Lund off to Hagee. Hagee's three is up and no good. And ball tipped out of bounds by Kiki Davis and helped up by Taya Trotter of the Skylights. Three seconds is the call, and once again, Mike, we could probably count on our hands how many 3-second calls we have heard, we have seen this year. 65-63 Skylights. 5:10 left to play. Inside to Peterson. Peterson going against Toms and lays it up, and this one doesn't fall. Toms with the rebound, and here comes the Skylight, a bit of a fast break. Oh, and good defense by Isabella Lund. She slapped that ball out of bounds, and we've got a media timeout. So, with 4:43 left in our game, it is MSU Northern 65, Montana Western 63. Back with more Frontier Conference women's basketball on the Bulldog Sports Network. We're back at the Stroud Gymnasium on a chilly January afternoon, and it's been a good one so far. MSU Northern took the lead middle of the third quarter, and they have not relinquished that lead. That was my word for the day, relinquish. Skylights.
Spell it?
Yeah. Not right now.
Oh, kick.
Shot clock down to 15 for the Skylights. And Tredier will put the ball in play. Out to his bad horse, into Toms. Toms has it tipped out of her hands by Kiki Davis. Kiki Davis to Maddie Moy, and here comes Hagee all the way down, and now she gives off to Davis, back to Hagee. Hagee's three is no good. And battle for the rebound underneath, almost stolen away by the Bulldogs. But as like you said, valuable seconds wasted at that other end while coming up with the ball. Tom's turnaround is no good as she puts it into the backside of the backboard, or the side of the backboard. 65-63, Skylights. Hagee calls out the Bulldog play.
Good play.
Oh, nice pass inside from Peterson to Davis, and it's our game all tied at 65, 3:32 left. Oh, Moy called for the foul.
I think you're right.
And that'll be her third personal, second team foul on the Bulldogs. And Trinity Nichols will come in. Who she will replace? Maddie Moy? Yep. So we're sacrificing a little bit of height for some defensive prowess and shooting. Of course, Maddie Moy has demonstrated she can hit the three, too.
And she's a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
I like the Nichols girl, though.
Oh, good. Speaking of the Nichols girl, she forced a turnover there. Bulldogs have the ball and a chance to take their lead back again. 3:05 left to play, and this game all tied at 65. Lund has it. Lund works her way inside, now goes all the way back outside, and Hagee comes up with a loose ball, and she just floats one in.
That surprised her.
Yeah. What, the basket or getting the ball, or both? 67-65 Bulldogs, 2:32 left to play. Kraus ties the game up again right over Peterson. And it's 67-67, 2:18 left.
Not necessarily the one you want handling the ball.
Davis will put up a three and hits an air ball instead. Ball tipped out of bounds by Nichols. And I'm not sure if you want Kiki Davis.
There were only 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
So no choice.
Not much choice.
Although she has demonstrated she can hit the outside shot. 67-67, under 2 minutes left to play.
That possession hurt, though.
His bad horse puts up the three, and this one hard off the glass. And with the board is the Bulldogs. Nichols will bring it down. 1:30 left to play. Nichols goes up and lays it up and in, and the Bulldogs in front, 69-67. Mowat calls the play from the sidelines.
The Bulldogs need to stop.
1:10 left to play. Trottier goes to the basket, tries a layup, and then draws the foul instead. It came down a little hard, and she's limping a little bit. Let's hope she's okay. Junior from Harlem. Harlem, that on the eastern side of the state too?
Just 30 miles on the other side of Chinook.
Okay. And she gets the first free throw. She's an 86% free throw shooter, so she doesn't miss very many free throws. Second free throw's up. This one also good, and it's tied at 69. 1:01 left to play. Inside to Peterson. Peterson going against Krass, puts it up, no good, and no foul. Good defense supplied by Cheyenne Krass. And Chris Mowat wants a timeout. So, Mike, in the huddle, what are you talking about?
Well, you have 14 seconds difference in the shot clock and the game clock. The question, do I go for a score right now? Try to take the lead, or do I take it down as far as you can? Try to shoot at the end of the shot clock and then give the Bulldogs just that 14 seconds to get the ball down the court into good position to take a good shot. What do you think he's going to do? I think he'll hold it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then shoot the ball at the end.
And I'm saying he's kind of has the option that Western had once he has the outside game. Well, actually,
okay, and so he's got
his bad horse. She could go either inside or outside because she's talented either way. But then you also have Krass inside too that's demonstrated. And Peterson has struggled today. She had a decent first half, but she's really struggled.
Yep, see they run a little time off the clock, but Hagee may have saved the bucket there.
But that will send back an 86% free throw shooter to the free throw line. And we've got, and Brett Cooper over there talking to Alexa Welch, and they're already diagramming something as the Skylights on top by 1 with Trottier's first free throw. And she gets the second one, so she's made 4 critical free throws in the last minute and so many seconds of the ball game. And Brett Cooper wants timeout, and they were already drawing up the play what they wanted to do. And once again, Maddie Moy back in the lineup, so you have the inside-outside thing you had before. Only do you go for a basket that ties it up, or do you go for a basket that wins it?
I'm at home. I'm going to go for a win. Besides that, Hagee's had a great ball game. She might be a little bit tired.
Well, she has 23 points. She's other than Peterson, who has 10 points, but she scored all 10 of her points in the first half.
Right.
Rebounds, Northern has a slight edge. Rebounds, 33-30. And, wow. Forner has 4 fouls, the only one in 4 fouls for the Skylights. And as far as the Bulldogs go, everybody has, 1.
Yeah.
Except Maddie Moyen, she has 2.
Peyton Hagee has 3, I think.
Either that or number 3 has 11 fouls. According to the official, she has 1. So Isabel Lund will put the ball in play for the Bulldogs, trailing by a bucket. Nichols has it. Nichols into Peterson. Peterson, and to Maddie Moy, and she loses it off her hands. And that will give the Skylights the ball with just 20 seconds left. So here comes some Bulldog full court pressure. Well, not first.
Chris Moat has called timeout.
Yeah. Could Brett Cooper have called a timeout without the ball?
Yeah, it's a dead ball.
Because she was trying to call a timeout. The Skylights will take advantage of that rule where they can take the ball out half court, and they'll be doing it right in front of us. So that was a quick one. Quick timeout, 30-second timeout. Skylights lead 71-69. Will they break that 5-game Frontier losing streak? Or will the Bulldogs break their 2-game Frontier losing streak?
Well, as we said earlier, the Skylights have only won a single game here in the conference, and it was against the Bulldogs in Havre on, I believe, January 4th.
The very first Saturday of Frontier Conference play.
Okay, so who am I going to foul?
Well, you don't want to foul Trottier because she's good. And you don't want to foul his bad horse either because she's a good free throw shooter. So a 2-point Skylight lead. So 2 free throws here makes it a 2-possession basketball game. And you need a 3-point at the other end with a foul. And his bad horse makes it a 3-point Skylight lead.
6 free throws for the Skylights here in the last couple of minutes.
And she's going to make it hard on the Bulldogs. Yeah. 69-73. It's a 2-possession ball game.
Got to go for quick 3. Good pressure. Get the ball in bounds. Going to have to foul.
And who would you foul? So Mackenzie Long is an 84% free throw shooter. Trottier is an 86% free throw shooter. Crass is a 54% shooter. If she's in the ball game, that's who you want to foul.
So.
His bad horse is a 79% free throw shooter. So Northern has good people at the charity stripe.
And, of course, they've already shown that how important that is with 7 straight free throws.
Well, and as you look at the lineup there, the only one that's not a good free throw shooter is Forner. So does Brett Cooper have that on her radar? That's who we foul? Well, no, it's Bulldogs' ball after the basket, if there is one.
Oh, we have a foul.
Now that's a smart play on the part of Chris Mowat, putting the Bulldogs to the line.
No, there was no.
Oh.
They're not in the shooting yet.
There's another foul.
Same situation.
Trottier picks up her third foul. She's picked up 2 quick ones in a row. 14 seconds on the game clock. And Krass with the foul. And she says, oops. And that's going to put Isabel Lund to the free throw line to shoot a pair with just 12 seconds. If you want to be official, it's 11.8 on the clock. She gets the first one. It's 73-70 Skylights.
Going to have to foul pretty quickly.
And she gets them both. And Krass is the one that's fouled by Peterson. And it's also a timeout. So Krass will go to the free throw line. And she's a good free throw shooter. If you're Chris Mowat, she's somebody you want at the free throw line. Ava Bellich will come in at the timeout. And I'm guessing that is a little height underneath.
And the three-pointer if they can get the ball back. She hasn't made a three-pointer here tonight, but we know
against
she can
Tech,
make
she
them.
did. Against Montana Tech, I believe she had a couple against Montana Tech. Wonder how that made her brother feel.
Huh?
I wonder how that made her brother feel. I'm sure her brother was rooting for his sister.
Oh, absolutely. And I think first time Peyton Hagee has sat down in this ball game. Played.
She's had a good one. Hagee sitting down with 25 points. That's probably one of her better performances of the season.
Oh, her career. Bellich.
And you're going to put one of the better free throw shooters for the Skylights. In fact, she leads Skylights in free throw shooting with 86%.
She's hit the last 4 that she's tossed up.
Ooh.
She missed.
She missed them both.
And immediately a timeout.
So 2 rare misses from Trottier, and that gives the Bulldogs a little gasp of air. 73-71 Skylights.
It's amazing that a song that is that bad can be played this often in Dillon.
I read a deal, a meme that was talking about the songs nobody wants to hear when they go to a game. This is one of them.
Yeah.
But then again, with all the teams in the country that have Bulldogs as their mascot, it gets played a lot. (73-71). Skylights lead the Bulldogs with 9.5 seconds on the clock. Inside to Peterson, Peterson to Lund, and Lund lays it up and in. And our game tied at 73. And we are going into overtime. So this time Isabella Lund sends the game into overtime with a layup. And oh my goodness, who fired that one that almost went in?
Hit the front of the rim.
Yeah.
Lund has snuck past that backdoor screen a couple times. And Kinsey Peterson always seems to be able to find that cutting player.
So they talk about this being free basketball. I'm not sure why they call it free basketball when you go into overtime. This has been a good ball game. Athletic Director Michael Filing acting as water boy and making sure the officials are properly hydrated.
(73-73).
Wow. Wow. They don't have a jump ball, do they?
Yep. And now I think they changed possession arrows as well, but I can't see.
So Matty Moy will be jumping against Kansas, his bad horse, for the Skylights as we begin this overtime. 73-73 the score. And Matty Moy wins the tip. And Bulldogs have first possession in overtime. Peyton Hagee directing traffic, calling out the play. Kenzie Peterson back to Lund. And Lund drives herself in, lays it up and in. So Isabel Lund with the layup, and the Bulldogs in front 75-73 in overtime. Lund fouls Toms as Toms goes to the basket. Lund in double figures now.
And Coach Cooper giving Peterson a couple of little hints about playing low post defense.
Well, she would know. She was pretty good at it herself.
Savannah Toms missed that one.
62% free throw shooter. So I would say she makes this one. And I would be wrong. Lund with the defensive rebound for Montana Western. Trinity Nichols goes in. She lays it up and a little short off the glass, along with the board for the Skylights. And the Skylights trailing by 2 with the ball in overtime. His bad horse works her way in, lays it up. There's a little bit of height difference between her and Isabella Lund. His bad horse is 6 foot, and Isabella Lund is 5'6". So, yeah, a little bit of difference. And his bad horse took advantage of it. Matty Moy put a shot up, and it was hard off the backboard and into the hands of the Skylights. This game all tied up at 75. His bad horse, she got the favorable roll, and the Skylights back in front, 77-75. We are in overtime, 3:20 left to play, and coming up with the steal is Foreign for the Skylights.
Bounce pass in the lane.
Matty Moy comes up with the steal, and she tosses it away. And the team's exchanging turnovers, and Matty Moy comes up with another one. And in the process of trying to recover the ball, a foul is called by Foreigner.
And that might be 5.
I think you're right. 5 fouls on Foreigner. She fouls out with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, and 6 steals. Matty Moy will step to the free throw line for the Bulldogs. And she gets free throw number 1. and 2. Moy gets both free throws, and we are tied at 77. 2:50 left to play in overtime. Moy comes up with another steal and another foul. This one, I think, is being called on Moran. And Maddie Moy will go back to the free throw line. Maddie, the sophomore from Kalispell. Oh, this free throw a little short. So Bulldogs and Skylights all tied up at 77. She gets 1 out of 2. Bulldogs back in front, 78-77, 2:30 left to play in overtime. And another Bulldog steal. Good defense by the Bulldogs. Approaching 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Isabel Lund goes in, lays it up, no good. Rebound to the Skylights, all the way down to his bad horse. She puts up the little floater and it falls, and the Skylights back out in front, 79-78. Remember, both teams average 67 a game, so they are way over their scoring average. Hagee to Davis, inside to Peterson, back to Davis. Hagee has it now. She drives in, goes up, plays it up off the glass, no good, and rebound to the Skylights. So Bulldogs, all of a sudden there's a lid on the Bulldog basket. Skylights lead by 1 with 1:18 left to play in overtime. Krass has it and almost stolen away by Lund, and it is stolen away by Lund. She gives it to Davis, and Davis back to Lund, and she'll bring it across the timeline with under a minute left to play. Bulldogs trailing by 1, 79-78. Lund drives in, puts it up, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds by a Skylight.
Oh.
And the Skylights don't seem to be arguing too much, so I guess they must admit that one of the Skylights did knock it out.
Coach Moat's the only one that's discussing it.
Hagee with the ball, 15-footer is good. Oh, no.
I think it hit the
top of the backboard. Didn't hit the shot.
I think it hit the shot clock. That standard there that's holding up the shot clock.
So 28 seconds left to play. And the Bulldogs putting a little full court pressure on the Skylights.
That call was a tough one.
And they're going to say Bulldog basket. Good defense by Kiki Davis of Montana Western. Forces a Skylight turnover.
And I think Britt Cooper is just going to run your regular offense. No special play. She didn't call timeout.
.20 seconds in overtime. Skylights lead by 1. 79-78. Moy drives in, now hands off to Lund. Lund puts the shot up and it's checked away, and a foul is called I believe, by Kenzie
look at this.
Peterson. And we have a foul.
All right. Oh, I think he has tossed one of the players from Northern, and he had to grab a hold of Isabella Lund and pull her back.
And Michael Filing also stepped out there to...
No, he's the athletic director. He shouldn't be on the court. The officials have... It's in hand. The officials have it. They're trying to decide. I think there was a foul underneath.
Yep.
And then something was said, and the pushing and shoving started. That was Isabella Lund and his bad horse. And as you said, that's quite a difference in size there. I'm going to see what he has to say.
They're talking to the scorebook, and they also quickly over to the statistician, and Michael Filing stopped him from talking to the statistician. Been an interesting afternoon so far.
Yes. And we're going to have a little discussion with the coaches. Both Chris Mowat and Britt Cooper brought together by the officials.
And that's head official Tom Dwyer over there talking to both sides.
He may assess technicals
to both
on
teams.
Both players, and I might throw them both out. So we're going to have a foul at least on Western. And Chris Mowat will send a player out to shoot. And out.
Yep.
Isabella Lund got the thumb.
And so did Trottier.
Did they both?
Yeah, they both left.
I hope, in high school, you can't just send a kid to the locker room. You have to have someone accompany a player. 23 white and 12. Okay.
The official just came over and explained to us just what we kind of guessed. Isabella Lund and Taya Trottier were both ejected from the ball game.
3.5 seconds left to go.
His bad horse at the free throw line, and she makes one for the Skylights, and it's 80-78.
She has done such a great job tonight.
She was the difference in the Skylights turning this game around in the third quarter. And she gets both free throws, and the Skylights lead by 3. And now we have a timeout.
train line.
Hagee, almost had a 3 at the basket at the buzzer. Our final, though, it's exciting, and the Skylights break a 5-game Frontier Conference losing streak and defeat the Bulldogs in overtime by a score of 81-78. Woo. And we'll go over the stats and stuff a little bit later on, because Brett wants to double check on all the software and everything working. So once again, from the Stroud Gymnasium on the campus of Montana Western, Frontier Conference women's basketball. Our score was MSU-Northern 81, Montana Western 78 in overtime. We'll see you in about 20 minutes for the men's game on the Bulldog Sports Network.